we feeling? How we feeling? How we doing? You know, fresh out the spot with G Bush. Y'all know what's going on, man. Before we do anything, man, first off, to all the phenomenal people that are here, thank y'all for. I know a lot of y'all are coming from G Bush. A lot of y'all are coming from the stream. It was a members only stream. I think some of y'all were looking for it. From what I understood, I think he's gonna release some clips too. So there will be some what's it called clips out. But I just want to shout out G Bush, man. I just somebody who has been doing it before I was doing it. You know what I mean? Like I just want to say that in the world of content creation and specifically Shedeur standards or content, like there's not many people who I can relate to the way that he does it, right? There's a respect, there's a class, there's a a legitimacy to the way that he does things. How you doing, Nisa? What's it called? But don't worry, he's gonna release some clips. Don't worry, he's gonna release some clips. But I just have to say that the conversation was enlightening. Who he is behind the scenes is even more enlightening and more, gives me more drive and more purpose and more reason to want to continue doing what I do. Just a great opportunity, right? It was great to see a lot of y'all in there. But I just cannot. You make sure y'all are subscribed to G Bush. If I'm not doing it, G Bush is covering it. You know what I'm saying? My content isn't to this level yet, but it's gonna get there. And because of you phenomenal people, really inspiring. But not only inspiring, just a great conversation in general. So shout out to G Bush. Shout out to anybody who's coming from that what's it called? That stream coming over here. Just a great conversation about a few different things. Very relatable. A gentleman, young man. If I do say, I know he's older than me. But young man. You feel me? What's it called? Doing his big thing and giving another young man an opportunity. So it's absolutely phenomenal. I saw my man Selmore in there, or Selmo Fudd, I should say, in the stream. Nisa, how you doing? Ola, how you doing? How we doing? So just want to get that out the way. But today we're not going to take too long. Obviously, I've already been live for an hour. So, but I do want to address a few things. So we're going to talk about, any way that I can shoehorn the Browns into it so I can talk about the trade deadline. That's what we're going to do because, everybody said that, they were supposed to be buyers, that being the Browns were supposed to be buyers. Actually, I want to find one thing because Mary Kay did say something about, and I want to make sure I get her comments on that. And then we're also going to talk about some rookies. We're going to do a little bit of a rookie review, still centered, of course, around the Browns because I think the Browns, like I told y'all preseason and like it's coming to fruition now, they have one of the strongest rookie classes altogether. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's important to highlight them, but also highlight the other rookies that are making great things happen. We are 9 weeks officially into the season. We are halfway into the season. So what's it called? It would be good and important to see, those different things. So we're going to review some rookies. And then as well, we're going to, do like we usually do, checking in with our guys, Tony Rizzo, Tony Grossi, you know what I mean? It seems like things have changed a little bit. The tune has changed a little bit around there. So, you know what I'm saying? I would like to see, what I'm saying, how that shakes out. Hold up, can I? Okay, here we go. Cool. I do want to see what Browns media thinks about them doing nothing in the trade deadline. That's what we're going to talk about right here. I'll follow Shedeur though. You and G Bush, keep up the great work. I appreciate you, William Bassett. Trizzy, what's going on, Big Triz? K Park Millen says, glad you and G Bush collaborated. Yo, just great stuff. If I could, you know what I'm saying? If you stop watching my content tomorrow, you better keep watching G Bush's content. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Again, the quality of person that he portrays on camera and off is one of extremely high morality, character, and more importantly, understanding. I think it felt very comfortable talking with him, and there's an effort there. There's an effort to be comfortable to someone. I've never talked to him, so the fact that it was just, hey, we started yapping for an hour, that hour went by quick too. I was like, oh, okay, I guess we out of here. Okay, we can do that. Let me double check one thing with Mary Kay, and then after that, we're gonna get right into this video. We're gonna talk about what happened at this trade deadline. What's it called? Oh, wait, was she talking about it on her podcast? Oh yeah, we got her. We got her, dog. Guys, don't worry. We got her. We gonna. Oh, it's right here. Oh, I know they put clips out right here. Okay. Hold up. Why is it doing this? Don't do this. Don't do that. Okay. I'm about to go to what's it called? Mary Kay's Little John. Oh, Mary Kay, Mary Kay. Okay, I got something for you, Mary Kay. I'm gonna put you in this other video, Mary Kay. We have a Mary Kay video to react to. This is gonna be the crown jewel right here. Beautiful. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. What we doing? What we doing again? Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it. Are y'all ready? Oh, what software do I use? Oh, thank you for the congratulations. This is called Obsidian. It's free, and you can do actually cooler stuff than what I do. I'm just lazy, so I just throw it in a big spider web. But you can come right here with it. Wait, I can come right here. Oh, I can come right here with it, and then I can go like I can go like this and have it point this way, and I say, hey, this is fresh. So you can experiment it. It's called Obsidian. It's a little app. It looks like this right here. I don't know if you can see down here, the little thing. So if you want to do that, it's dope. I think if you're in school, even though all y'all use AI for all y'all stuff anyway, this would be like the next level. Oh, I got a cool way to present my project. Like this would have got you some extra points, boy. I wish I figured about this one. Hey, two of my favorites had a meet and greet. Hey man, hey say. Come on now, dog. Come on now, dog. All right, let's get into it. Let's yap a little bit about the trade deadline, what happened, and how the Browns did absolutely nothing. Trade deadline is gone, and Shedeur Sanders is no longer. Oh, he's still a Brown. Well, I'm sure, like Mary Kay and Adam Schefter said, the Browns made a bunch of acquisitions to make the team. They didn't. They just traded away a depth piece on the defensive line to the Bears. Okay. Yeah. I gotta be honest with y'all. I specifically I made a different video today, different type of content. I was like, hey, the Browns gonna go so crazy in the trade deadline. The video I'll make next is gonna be stupid. That did not happen. They did not go crazy. They did not go nothing. They did absolutely nothing in the trade deadline. So we are going to talk about the trade deadline, but we're of course going to speak about the Browns first. And in a lot of the I don't want to say rumors, but a lot of the reports that were put out that the Browns are going to be major buyers, and this comes at a time in the same week where obviously the offensive play calling has been relinquished, or rather Kevin Stefanski has relinquished his offensive play calling duties and given those to Tommy Rees, who's supposed to be a whiz kid, formerly Notre Dame, formerly Alabama, coordinating some high-powered offenses there, and hopefully that change of identity can change. But clearly, no new players are going to do that either. So there is a lot of rumblings of Garrett Wilson getting traded from the Jets, and we're going to get to that because the Jets seem to trade. They were trying to trade everybody they could away. They really were trying to trade everybody they could. But again, here was the things from Adam Schefter. Remember, the Browns are more likely to be buyers than sellers at the trade deadline. There were some rumors that possibly someone like Deshaun Watson might be traded, but Mary Kay says from people that I've talked to, he feels like he can come in and be successful with his football team. Mary Kay Cabot. So again, this is them speaking and kind of confirming that the intention of the Browns is to keep Deshaun Watson, and not only keep him, but let him play. So while Cleveland already has completed 3 trades in the past month, acquiring offensive tackle Cam Robinson, sending quarterback Joe Flacco to Cincy, and swapping cornerbacks with Jacksonville, most sources believe that the Browns will be buyers more than sellers before the deadline. Now, this, of course, did not come to fruition. The Browns do not sound inclined to trade tight end David Njoku, but they have been calling around the league, still looking to add quality young players to their roster. I don't know who's going to save the Browns, Kevin Stefanski. I don't know what young player at the trade deadline you thought you were going to get without giving up a Deshaun Watson or giving up, something major, or maybe one of your great rookies. But, it's left with all they did was trade away Joe Tyron, I believe. I forgot how to say his name, but you trade away a rotational piece, a depth piece at defensive end. So this is the Dogs Cleveland. They do some really good stuff. So let's kind of react to this is from a Cleveland Browns fan with a lot of hype and understanding that, hey, we are going to make something happen. We're going to make a splash play. And nothing seemed to happen.
Well, the trade deadline in the NFL has come and gone, and the Browns did poo diddly squat at the trade deadline. That's right. We got told all week long, yeah, the Browns, they're more likely to be buyers than sellers at the trade deadline and all this stuff. And the only move they made was actually a sell. They sold, they traded defensive end Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, who they signed in the offseason, over to the Bears along with a 7th-round pick, and they got a 6th-round pick in return. So the famous Andrew Berry pick swap, the Browns move up from the 7th round to the 6th round. I mean, the move itself is fine. You move up a round for a player that you're not using on your defense anyway. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka was not playing for the Browns. Very few snaps. I think he played 32, 33 snaps, like something like that this season. Only 6% of the defensive snaps so far in 2025. So move up around for a guy you're not using. Good move, but it's just hilarious that they talked about being buyers, and the only move they made was a very small sell at the trade deadline. So nothing else going for the Browns. David Njoku, Jerome Ford, Shelby Harris, Wyatt Teller, all the guys speculated to be on the trade block, still very much on the Cleveland Browns roster for the remainder of the season. And this morning, Mary Kay Cabot reported that she was hearing the Browns are in no way in the market for a wide receiver at the trade deadline, which, of course, they did not make a move for a wide receiver. But it's funny, that's the weakest, most pathetic unit on the entire roster, and it's the...
I gotta be honest, because, I was like, okay, I was about to do the bit. Okay, well, if all that has to be said, what do we say? But to hear that, I guess Mary Kay was reporting that they weren't even in the market for a wide receiver. Because I thought the only logical thing, right? I was about to ask you. I was gonna ask you, hey, one, how does this relate to, like, how is us going over trade deadlines? Does that really have to relate to the Browns? Yes, because the other teams that made trades, it's a parallel of what the Browns aren't doing, right? You have someone in the Jaguars who picked up Jacoby Myers, right? So look, these are two, and we're gonna go deeper into these mixes. We got videos and stuff like that, but I just want to use this to prove a point. The Jaguars. What happened to the Jaguars? Let's watch. Travis Hunter goes on IR. Now, it's already been reported that Travis Hunter is gonna be on the shorter end of the IR. First off, hope he does his speedy recovery. But from the reports that are coming out, Travis Hunter is gonna be back in 4 weeks. He's gonna be back. Hey, IR, nothing longer than that. It's not season ending. We're gonna get Travis Hunter back. Well, what do the Jaguars do? A team that's competing and says, hey, not only are we competing, but even when Travis Hunter was here, he was making up a lot of, he was doing a lot of making up for the poor wide receiver performance we had. Let's go get another dynamic receiver. Let's get Jacoby Myers, right? Okay, boom, right here for the Giants. And then this is, one side is a team trying to be successful. How about a team that knows, hey, at this point with one win, let's go ahead and let's just start the tank, right? You have them who got a bunch of first-round picks from a few different trades, giving up large assets, right? If Quentin Williams gets 2 first-round picks, we're going to go deeper into this. If Quentin Williams gets you 2 first-round picks, Myles Garrett gets you 5 first-round picks. 5 first-round picks. I don't think someone would blink at giving 5 first-round picks for Myles Garrett. But that's not the point. The point overall really is, with all the movement happening, with all these things happening, not even being in the, and I get it. Look, Garrett Wilson, Jets didn't want to give him up. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. But you can't get a Jacoby Myers. I'm hard pressed to believe that, and Jacoby Myers is a good player, but I'm hard pressed to believe that you weren't even competing for Jacoby Myers. You weren't even in contention for Jacoby Myers. Wide receiver group, hey, like, man, I hate to be the guy on Dylan Gabriel's side, but can you help your 5'8" quarterback out? Can we get a receiver? I get we got 2 tight ends. We're going to work. Hey, tight end is the quarterback's best friend, all that in a bag of chips. The wide receivers are putrid right now. Isaiah Bond, this is from a Texas fan. Isaiah Bond is 2 packs of ass. Jerry Jeudy is dropping every 5th pass, every 5th target he gets, he drops it. So what this tells me is that, it was just smoke and mirrors. First off, hey, we're going to be buyers, yada, yada, yada. And then on top of that, the priorities aren't even to. You would think is okay. Well, let's acquire some assets, right? We just drafted 2 quarterbacks. We just gave up a 3rd round pick for a quarterback. It would be great to get some more value, right? But that's not what happens. For all y'all coming from Garrett Bush, thank y'all so much. All right, I'm recording the video. Thank y'all. G. Bush was great. He was amazing. I look to be back again. Cannot appreciate y'all enough for being there and watching with me. But you get how. At what point do the Browns commit to what they are? Why after 9 games, 9 weeks, I don't think they play 9 games. After 9 weeks in the NFL season, that every week was a bad offense with Joe Flacco, with handpicked guy, awful offense. Now that the season's basically over, a playoff standing wise, now we give up. Okay, we'll see if Tommy Rees, the offensive coordinator, can call plays. Jesus. I mean, and I was talking to Garrett Bush about this, and shout out to him because he's in Ohio, so like he has a different pulse and connection to the city and to the people and the way people perceive certain things. So I was like, y'all know me, I'm a Texans fan. Like, what type of frustration does a Browns fan go to when it feels like this team is not even working in a unified direction? It really doesn't feel like. If we're hearing that they're buyers, nothing gets bought. We're seeing their record and seeing how bad the offense is, and nothing gets sold. We're seeing that there's not a lot of upside here. You've got a lot of young players right now on rookie contracts that you probably want to take advantage of. Hey, this might be our last year that we can move on certain pieces, load up, and hopefully in the second year of Carson Schwarzenegger, Harold Fannin, Quinshon Judkins, this by all credits, from a production standpoint, elite rookie class. You can count Dylan Gabriel in there. I mean, you're starting your rookie in Dylan Gabriel. Your quarterback room is 2 rookies and Bailey Zappi, right? So you're getting a lot of value from these rookies. But you better get as much value as you can before they start asking for some money. Do I think the Browns are going to be able to pay Carson Schwarzenegger? Do I think the Browns are going to be able to sustain an offense that Jerry Jeudy wants to be a part of to start building a wide receiver core? Because that's the thing y'all don't get. The wide receiver is like the weirdest position. They don't only want a bunch of targets, but they also want help. Like, that's the thing about wide receivers. You can't leave them stranded either. Like, dog, you gotta help me out, dog. Come on, but also give me 10 targets a game. Like, wide receivers are weird. So it just makes me quite confused. So let's hear what a few people around 92.3 the fan just feel about that, and then we're gonna go in and talk a little bit more at length about what the Jets were able to do. And how I think it's the model that at this point the Browns should be embracing, and also a little bit about what the Jacksonville Jaguars did as well. But let's hear it.
I don't know. Maybe they got the stop sign with any deals that they wanted to do because of the understanding that somebody else would have to clean up that mess if you in fact got it wrong.
Yeah. Well, and same thing with Kevin Stefanski. I think that's a fair question to ask right now with both of them. Like Kevin giving up play calling, and then Andrew Berry essentially standing pat here at the trade deadline. Is that a sign that both of these guys are feeling pretty secure in their positions? Like they don't have to do much right now. Okay, Kevin will always tell you, I've always called plays. This is the 2nd straight year now he's given up. Last year we talked about yesterday. Last year was he just threw his hands up there and said, "Well, the heck with it. You wanted Ken Dorsey here, fine. He can call the plays and he can suffer the consequences of this train wreck. I'm washing my hands of it." I don't get the impression that that's what's happening this year with the tie. I think this is we're willing to try anything we can because, well, I have what I have to work with.
I think that's so interesting. And I'm pausing the video just to shout out Just a Girl. Thank you for being in the Garrett Bush and supporting us and doing the big thing. Miss Sharon Brantley, we already did the collab, but there will be clips coming out. So Garrett Bush is going to be publicizing those and doing it, so that should be great. But I'm going to wrap this video up real quick. Let me hop right back into it. And I was talking to, I saw this on Twitter, and I saw this talking point. I think it's different when, you see, Browns fans or Browns Twitter supporters, and they're saying certain things. In the thing that Daryl Ruiter just said, who's an insider, part of the 92.3 fan, like you're seeing a common theme, and this theme is that and this is my first time hearing it about Andrew Berry, but this idea that Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry are just they're safe in their job, and that goes back to the point I was making when I was talking to Garrett Bush about like, man, it must suck to be a Browns fan if this is what you have to look forward to. You get to week 9 of the NFL season, and now let's see if we can have a productive offense. And then from the GM standpoint, I'm not mad at him for saying this, but again, as a Browns fan, I guess this is what y'all have to expect, right? Maybe the GM just gave up. Maybe the GM just said, nah, we don't need any players. And because they think that their job is safe. Like, Jesus Christ, they're what, 2-6? What are they? Nobody should, like, I maybe I watched a different NFL growing up, or maybe just these past few weeks of people Brian Callahan just got fired. Like, maybe I'm just watching a different league as opposed to the Browns. The Browns are just in like the twilight zone. What do you mean they're confident? And I'm not mad at Daryl Ruiter and the Browns fans that I saw tweet out and say, yeah, I think Kevin Stefanski's pretty safe. I'm not mad at them because they've seen this play out. They've seen what happens. They've seen Kevin Stefanski throw an offensive coordinator under the bus. And then for some I don't know how. Definition of insanity. How the fuck, because I was just figuring out the fact that this is his second year relinquishing his play calling duties. I didn't know he did that last year. I was, just finding that in my research yesterday. How do we get back to Kevin Stefanski calling plays? As a Browns fan, how do you go into the season, y'all fire your offensive coordinator that y'all gave play calling responsibilities to at around this point in the season, and then you come back with a new offensive coordinator, supposed to be a whiz kid, all this stuff, and then Kevin Stefanski is calling the plays again? I gotta be honest with you, and I say this often, and I used to say it as a joke. Oh my God, the reason why some of these Browns fans are mad at Shedeur fans is because they've been so ass for so long. Why put more eyeballs on it? Why would I want more people calling us ass? We know we've been ass. NFL's been calling us ass. We've been producing ass football. I don't need anybody else to let us be ass in peace. Peace and quiet. At this point, I genuinely think that's what's going on. I genuinely think they just want to make terrible decisions that clearly don't relate to winning football. Like, this is we started this. This was supposed to be, hey, I'm a Shedeur supporter. Half of my videos are just talking about how insane the Browns organization is. Forget being a Shedeur fan. Just if I was a Browns fan, I would be, I would find a way to relinquish my fanhood. Can I just be an Ohio State fan, please? I hear Arvell Reese is real nice. I hear 8 coming off the edge is a beast. That boy Jeremiah Smith. Carnell Tate is wide receiver 1. Hey, y'all better watch out. Julian Sayin. You look like a Heisman candidate. Like, I would much rather support Ryan Day's boys than Kevin Stefanski's slop. It's mind-boggling to me. It really is. And they have really, and shout out to Garrett Bush because he said, it's like, yo, the fans are just, they do halfway accept it. They operate in a different way as if bad things are always going to happen. But let's hear what Mary Kay, on which she thought the Browns could look to add prior to the trade deadline. Let's hear it.
The only thing that I do know is that I've been told over and over, and Kevin almost reiterated this yesterday during his press conference, and that is that they really don't seem to be in the market for a wide receiver. So I had written that they were not interested in Garrett Wilson. That rumor had been flying around for a while, but I kind of tried to throw some water on that one. But I think in terms of any receivers right now, I just don't see them being in the market for one.
What are they in the market for? If they're not in for a wide receiver, what are they in the market for?
That's our spot, Mary Kay.
Yeah.
You know, I would have to think that offensive line would be a place to look because we all know that a lot of those guys have expiring contracts and they're going to have to rebuild that offensive line potentially in the off season. So that's a place that I would probably look. And, they're always looking for defensive backs because, Andrew Berry was a defensive back and Kevin Stefanski was a defensive back. So they really do a nice job on that position. So that's one area that you can always look to as one that they might fortify. But I don't have a really great handle on what exactly they would be in the market for, except I would probably say offensive line.
So, and I'm not even mad at offensive line, right? I'm not mad at you being in the market for offensive linemen. I really what I'm mad at is you're not in the market for and you got to understand, like I've told you multiple times, Mary Kay is a mouthpiece to the organization, right? And it's key term here, the organization, not the head coach, the organization, right? So, she's putting these things out as a flag, as a representation of what the Browns are kind of trying to do. You didn't really see a lot of offensive linemen get moved, and they've already what's it called? They've already sorry, I lost my train of thought, so I was reading the text. Like just the idea of punting on something like that, it just doesn't sit well with me. They already got an offensive line. They already traded for one at one point. I'm not mad at you bolstering the offensive line. I'm really not mad at that. I'm not mad at you doing that. But in my head, right, and again, if they're thinking like Mary Kay's thinking, hey, I'm thinking of contracts going into the future. I'm thinking of let's get some contracts. Let's get some light contracts, kind of like with the Tyson Campbell, Greg Newsome thing, where hey, let's get somebody, instead of having to pay Greg Newsome a contract that we already know what it is, we can put him on the books. He's not that old, and we can keep it pushing, right? Is that what you want to do at the offensive line? Like, is that how you want to build your offensive line right now? Like, the wide receiver group is we've seen instant impact from multiple traded wide receivers released and stuff like that. You don't always see that same impact from offensive line. It's not apples to oranges. Again, I'm not mad at that for doing it, but in my head, you're like, if we're in the market for offensive linemen, why aren't we in the market to get the wide receiver room more deep? Because right now your wide receiver one is looked at as a drop merchant. You know what I mean? Like I just it's very odd. You have to be very confused, I think, if you're a Browns fan. I don't know how you enjoy anything the Browns are doing, and I don't know how people when we sit here and say, hey, the Browns might be doing the wrong thing with Shedeur. I don't know how we get pushback for that. Like I want y'all to know, I'm just looking at what the Browns do consistently. They consistently make terrible decisions that don't make sense, that don't bolster or benefit the team. So why would I expect what they're doing in any other way to be that? So like it was talked about, the Jets, the Browns may have inquired about Jets wide receiver Garrett Wilson, but added no players Tuesday trade deadline. They hung on to Myles Garrett, David Njoku. Obviously, there were some things that were lingering around there. Now, a team that I think did what the Browns should have done is absolutely sell shop, and I think they could have done more, to be honest with you. I think keeping Garrett Wilson there, I think they're going to find that it's going to be, again, it's hard to keep a high production Ohio State wide receiver like Garrett Wilson, who's catching balls not catching balls, who's blocking for their quarterback. And I love Justin Fields, but let's be honest, Richard, like the throwing game has been anemic with him. Tyrod Taylor is getting into his Geno Smith bag of throwing 5 interceptions for every 5 plays. He does do great. So weird positions if you're a wide receiver for the Jets, and if you're just a player on the Jets. Welcome to rebuild mode. Well, welcome back. Y'all try to do like a light rebuild. Y'all try to, okay, what if we just, Aaron Rodgers, okay, but what if we just, it's over. I want y'all to know. Now, I don't know what this means. I'm not as locked in with the Jets. I don't know if this means that, because we kind of alluded to Kevin Stefanski's job security. I don't know if this gives Aaron Glenn the same level of security, right? I don't know if this means that, hey, Aaron Glenn, we're going to let you go into the season with look at these draft picks, boy. Just in 2026, you got 2 firsts and 2 seconds. And then in 2027, you got 3 first-round picks in 2027. This is Ultra Instinct rebuild, boy. This is Philadelphia the process. Like, I don't think they're going to be intending on winning games for a while, because why would you when you have all of this coming, dog? They finna, and here's the projected 2027 eligible draft: Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Wilson, Cam Coleman, Julian saying Dylan Raiola, Colin Simmons. Y'all know, hook 'em horns. And then offensive line, Josiah Thompson. So there are going to be all types of, most of them are Ohio State players. I gotta be honest with you, most of them are Ohio State players. So if they come in here and scoop them up. Oh yeah, and by the way, they also got another wide receiver known, first off, former Texas player and Georgia player, as well as the guy who was probably most notorious for fumbling through the end zone. They picked him up in that trade too for Sauce Gardner. So they give up Sauce Gardner, they give up Quentin Williams, they give up a haul, and they're in full rebuild mode. I think that the Browns would be a lot better off if they did that exact thing. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about the trade deadline. Did your team make any moves? I'm a Texans fan. We didn't do Nathan. Actually, before I leave, make sure I'll read this real quick. So far, just in all the trades, this was obviously before some of the big trades, so you're missing like one or two. You got Jacoby Myers to Jacksonville, Jalen Phillips to Philadelphia. Y'all watch out. Philadelphia, not only are they known for making great picks, but I think specifically what Philadelphia does, but it's not just acquiring players. I think acquiring players mid-season is what they do best. I want you to go back to Jay Ajayi. I want you to look at Jay Ajayi in the same way that you look at Jalen Phillips. They just added a depth piece to this Philadelphia defense that has studs all over the front seven. They know how to double down. When they got Jay Ajayi back in 2017 and ended up winning the Super Bowl, they had one of the most potent rushing attacks in the league. LeGarrette Blount was going crazy. And they said, how about we double down on what we do best? And this is what they're doing again, making their defense a little bit more relentless. Jalen Phillips out of Miami, if I'm correct. It was cool to see him in Miami, obviously coming from the University of Miami. But I think a nice colder start up there in Philadelphia is going to have him put into a lot of better opportunities. And I think he's going to be able to use his skill set a lot better as well in Philadelphia. DeMont Jones of Baltimore, Logan Wilson, Dallas. Yeah, that's really going to fix it. And Dallas also got Quentin Williams. So I do think that I don't think it's enough, but hey, there's a team known for making bad ideas and still doing it. John Mechie. Oh! Did we trade John Mechie, or did we already? I think we already traded John Mechie. Oh, that was okay. That was the old. Okay, I see. This is all of them. Okay, Jair Alexander to Philadelphia, Michael Carter to Philadelphia, John Mechie, Keon White to San Francisco, Kyle Duggar to Pittsburgh, Roger McCreary to LAR, Greg Newsome to Jacksonville, Tyson Campbell to Cleveland, Odafe Owe, the Chargers, Alani Gilman, Baltimore, and Joe Fliggity Flacco, Cincinnati Bengals. But that's what we got. Let me know how you feel down below in the comments. Like the video if you like this, if you don't subscribe, if you like football content of all shapes, sizes, forms, fashions, and factors. Continue to be great and phenomenal. We'll see you next time. Peace. All right. So we're gonna save the rookies for last. We're gonna just watch something that's happening, and what's happening is you're seeing some of the Browns, the biggest, what's it called? The biggest mouthpieces in the world of you. What? Oh my God! Why are they using this TikTok? They're using TikTok sounds or something right now. What's going on? What you're seeing is, a lot of these mouthpieces for the Cleveland Browns organization having to kind of backtrack some things and or just be confused about what they're seeing on the field, because it's a lot of bad hoops. So we're gonna get into that. But first, read a few of y'all's comments that we got. Vike says, great collab. It was very great. It was very fun. Just a girl says, these Browns fans get on my nerves. There's nobody that could have traded for that would have been worth what these teams are asking to make this team better. That's a really good point. Sharon Brantley says, can't wait to see the collaboration. We already did collaborate. Just a girl says, this is a year. This year is a QB evaluation year. It was supposed to be. Just a girl says, I don't like that Reuter guy. Just 3 to 4 weeks ago, he was talking about Shedeur was far from ready on IG comments, then tried to flip. Yeah, I don't like to be, even with Tony Rizzo, I like to kind of, keep him at arm's distance. I'm always gonna, I'm watching Derek Reuter. He's not the most, pro Shedeur, but at the same time, he has a lot of insights that we can still, learn from. What's it called? Hello, everyone. How are you doing? A's Brazil says, Shedeur, the only reason they got content and finally making money, they put his picture up and they put his name in titles, milking it. Yeah. I do definitely see that, as a Browns fan or a Browns content creation, I don't think they've had an opportunity like this since, Baker Mayfield maybe, or maybe Johnny Manziel. So I'm not mad at them for milking it. Free Shedeur, and my man Trizzy says, is actually commenting on 80s Brazil, saying, facts indeed. Just like the A.J. Brown tweet says, they're using him without using him. I think that's a good point. I think that's an interesting point to point out. So let's get right into it, right? What we're starting to see with the Cleveland Browns media is a certain message. And that message is, I'm not really sure how safe Kevin Stefanski is. This is his second year in a row giving up play calling duties. And, as a Shedeur fan, I was beating the drum of, look, don't put Shedeur out there until there's a new person calling the offense. So I gotta say, I'm back on the start Shedeur train. But it seems like the Cleveland Browns are starting to kind of backtrack some of the things they said, as well as starting to question Kevin Stefanski to a higher degree. So we're gonna hear some things from Tony Grossi. We got some things from E. Goldie. I don't know how to say his name, but you know what I'm saying, ESPN Cleveland. We got Big Riz in the house as well. So we're gonna do a few of those things, and if we have time, we also have a little excerpt from Mary Kay Cabot, and she is back beating her drum of Deshaun Watson returning this year. So we're gonna get into that. Let's hear it first from the top tier, the Gabriel guy, Tony Grossi. Let's hear it.
Tony, do you think the Browns will relieve Kevin Stefanski of his duties at the end of the year, or is it still up to what he does the rest of this season?
I believe that, yes. I believe they don't want to, but they might have to.
I just did the schedule game with Pawpaws and winning one more game. They're going to go 3-14.
Tennessee.
Wow.
Tony, you can't win 6 games in 2 years and survive.
No, you can't. And again, with this offensive disaster, I mean, it would be different if they're losing like Cincinnati's losing.
Right.
48-42.
Right.
Or give some excitement and score some points. It's been over a year since they've won on the road. If they don't win this Jets game, are they ever going to win again on the road?
A reminder, I don't know if you see my free agency video. This is a Jets team that just imploded their defense, right? Jermaine Johnson and Breece Hall were also in trade talks. They didn't end up making it work. And apparently it was reported that Breece Hall wanted to trade. So they wanted to blow up their offense and their defense. But obviously they gave away Sauce Gardner to the Colts. I wouldn't say give away. They got plenty back for him. 2 first rounds for Sauce, I think is crazy. But whatever. They don't pay me to talk about that or pay me to have an opinion on that. And then, of course, Quentin Williams going to the very hungry for defense Dallas Cowboys. If you don't win there or forget winning, if you just don't have an offensive showcase against a depleted defense and a team that is just bad right now, there's going to be a lot of bigger questions to be asking as far as what does the future of this team look like, and is Kevin Stefanski really a part of it? So you got Tony Grossi of all people pointing that out. I think that's super interesting. And then, a similar standpoint here about hearing the fact that Kevin Stefanski has, of course, relinquished his play calling for the second year in a row.
Kevin Stefanski, as he meets with the media, he will be giving up play calling duties, handing them over to offensive coordinator Tommy Rees. My initial reaction is, I don't know if it's good for the team or not. I don't think it's good for Kevin Stefanski. This is the second year in a row that when the team has started to struggle, you've given up play calling duties. If it works out, then you go, hey, I think Jimmy Haslam would say, see, he's still the leader of this team. He's a great leader of this team. If it doesn't work out, well, you probably played your last card.
I think it's the right move moving off of him being the play caller. I think giving him the opportunity to be the CEO style of head coach is probably the best way of doing it as well. But this is, again, it does reek of desperation of like, Jimmy, I'll do whatever I can to continue to be the head coach here.
So I think that's interesting. Both of those viewpoints kind of help us come to the same conclusion, right? And that conclusion is, like, what does this really say about Kevin Stefanski? And I'm happy that he pointed out, hey, look, if this goes great, right, there's a world where that is looked at as positive, right? And if it goes wrong, there's a world that's looked at as positive. But I almost think that if it goes wrong, there's more positives for Kevin Stefanski because they've proven that when he gives up offensive play calling duties, he can just kind of blame it on him, blame it on that offensive player, that offensive coordinator, get them fired, and then he's just off to the next thing, right? hey, we're gonna let him call plays again and get another offensive coordinator to be sacrificial lamb, right? It just doesn't sit right with me. So I'm happy what they're saying, but it's interesting that in the same way they're still coming with conclusions that there could be a way that this goes terrible for the Browns and Kevin Stefanski still comes out on the right side of it. It's real nasty. Yo, what's going on, Copio? What's good? What's it called? Zach said, hey, so G. Bush making us pay to watch a collab between y'all, both saying things we've already heard. Both of you speak on your own. Wasted collab. Hey, man. That's not what it's about at all, brother. It was about seeing two people. I never met Garrett Bush. I never talked to him, right? And it wasn't, if you didn't want to pay the member fee, you didn't have to see the collab. Like, it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't saying we were going to save the world. Now, be on the lookout because, you know, we might have a non-members version, but Garrett Bush didn't know who I was. What if I went out there wilding, huh? What if I was a terrible guest and he let y'all see that stuff? Nah, let's keep it behind the paywall just in case Tings is tripping, right? All right? But hey, he got to see me. I don't trip too much. I'm not too crazy. Maybe we'll do some more things like that. Just a little introduction, man. Just a little introduction. When the new content comes, it ain't gonna be no paywall. Come on now. Don't try to paint my man G Bush like that. Not like that. Never that. Come on, Zach. Come on, man. You know you better than that, big dog. We gonna get you right. But yeah, let me hop right back into it. But with all that being said, you know, I think another clear, you know, switching of the pendulum doesn't just rely on, you know, this idea that maybe Kevin Stefanski isn't as safe as he's been moving, as a lot of people perceive, you know, things of that nature. But when it comes to the Shedeur Sanders narrative, I think that there's a boiling point. I think there's a real boiling point that it gets to where even people like Tony Grossi are starting to ask for Shedeur Sanders and multiple times. This isn't the first time either.
So you're saying there's still plenty of time to see him?
To see Sanders.
Tony, in all reality, what does that accomplish? Whether we see him for 4 games, 6 games, or 8 games, they're going to be drafting a quarterback next year. Yeah. So great. So you're just throwing him out there just because?
To see what he's got. I mean, to see what he's got. Everyone wants to see what he's got.
So say he's got something.
Yeah.
What does that do? They're still taking a quarterback next year.
Well, they still have to rank these guys for next year. You know, they're not getting rid of either of them, in my opinion.
So their quarterback room next year will be a quarterbacks that maybe have 1 or 2 wins collectively.
No, your quarterback room next year will be 2 second-year players and a rookie.
Yes.
Wait. And my man Trizzy in the comment says, I think great. There's definitely a backdoor move on how Stefanski is protecting his job. If it happened once, you shrug it off. If it happened twice, it's a pattern. No coach under Stefanski is safe. And you know, like we're talking about Shedeur. So what does that have to do with it? I think that has everything to do with it. And because Kevin Stefanski, like they said, he's the head coach, so he's the CEO of this team. You're telling me. This is insane. So you're telling me they're gonna go through this season, and as it's projected, it seems like that leak that came out of Shedeur's playing the last 4 games no matter what. I think that has been the plan the entire time, to just give him 4 weeks, right? And I think, you know, they made a great point. Like, at what are we seeing at this point? In my head, we get to the offseason. They keep Dylan Gabriel. They draft somebody else, and you know, maybe they get a veteran guy. Maybe Bailey Zappi stays along for the ride because he knows the system. But I can't stress this enough. I cannot stress enough how y'all as Browns fans would just be in the most cyclical system. The most cyclical, mind-numbing system if 2026 August 30th preseason finale, you got Shedeur, Dylan Gabriel, and Dante Moore, Fernando Mendoza, whoever they decided to pick as the first round pick. I don't know how I said it like that. Whoever they decide to go first round, you're going to have 2 second year players and a new rookie that you want to instill all this guys, this is what it goes back to, people feeling so wronged about the Shedeur situation. How is it even fair to compare Shedeur when he has to split with Dylan Gabriel? Forget that. How is it fair to judge Dylan Gabriel with all the hoopla with Shedeur and all the stuff like that? The thing about that was so great about, if you just make Shedeur your guy and say, hey, we're good, we're confident in him, even if it's the second, whatever, is that it doesn't really matter that he has all the outside noise. If he's the guy and y'all put him in that place, well, then that's a different conversation. He's not drawing from another rookie quarterback, right? And at this point, he would be drawing from his second-year quarterback and another rookie quarterback. As people say, hey, he never got a fair shot to begin with against the third rounder that was graded as a fourth and fifth rounder. Now we're supposed to expect him to get a fair shot against the guy who's already getting starting reps. And again, we go back to asset management. The same reason why I'm okay with Dylan Gabriel starting first, getting the reps that he got. From a football perspective, more value. You're a third-round pick. You cost more. I'm paying you more. We putting him out there. I'm cool with that. With that same thought process, why do I think Shedeur will ever see the field? Even if he does, it's great. He wins last 4 games. Oh my God. It doesn't matter at that point. And that's been Kevin Stefanski's, if we've been wondering what the plan is, that's the plan. Some people might argue it's protecting. I might have argued it was protecting early in the season. I was a little more optimistic. At this point, I don't think of that. I really do think it's him protecting himself. Knowing that with a 4-game sample size, enough bad will happen that people will have enough doubt. Even if Shedeur, 3 out of 4 games is great, and then that 1 game, it's enough doubt to draft Fernando Mendoza. Enough doubt to draft the hometown kid Dante Moore. Right? I don't know. Drew Allers, hey man, don't play, man. I don't see how you don't look at the Deshaun Kaiser situation. Right? A situation where you go from Cody Kessler, you have a young quarterback room, and then you bring in a project guy in the second round and make him the starter. It feels like for the last decade, the Browns are just kind of winging it with the decisions at the quarterback position. And as a Browns fan, you shouldn't feel confident at all in what you're seeing. But let's see, Riz.
What is keeping Sanders off the field? Coop.
His back's tight.
It's not that, Coop. The kid hasn't taken any number 1 reps. To be honest, people think he's behind Bailey Zappi. Is it because he was a 5th-round pick?
Why is he not getting first-round reps?
First-team reps? Riz, I can't answer that question. I can speculate, but...
Well, Dion and I want to know.
Dion and I want to know. And I'll end this little media part. We have a little time, so we're going to listen to the Mary Kay interview as well, and actually see if I can pull it up now. What I want to point out here, as we wrap some things up here, is, at what point? Oh my God, sorry, I don't want him looking at this. He's giving me crazy eyes. At what point do we start questioning the full process of what's going on? Now, we've been questioning it for a long time, right? But if you're seeing other people question it, if you're seeing other people be kind of lost on this, right? There's a lot of things that I get with the Browns. I get trying to hold on to Myles Garrett. I get hold on. There's some stuff that even if it might seem like a dumb decision, I understand it. By all accounts, this quarterback position or quarterback situation is unprecedented and unheard of. And it really makes me feel like, again, back to the Browns is just going to be the Browns. They're just cursed. You're going to walk yourself into another situation with a super young quarterback room. You're going to have no vets in the room, 3 quarterbacks. If we believe Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel are going to stay on the roster, right? If all that happens and we have Dante Moore in here, what are we doing? Why? And I was talking about this with Garrett Bush. Hey, I'm going to be referencing a lot. You know what I'm saying? You know, big collab boys, you feel me? I'm going to reference a lot. But no, in all seriousness, and I was saying, like, Jackson Dart, and y'all hear me complain. And I'm big on saying, hey, I was wrong about Jackson Dart. You know me. I'm gonna be honest about it. But the thing that I love to see about Jackson Dart is like, oh, Brian Daboll wants him to be successful. Oh, the offensive play calling for Jackson Dart. Oh, those are wrinkles from the Ole Miss system. There is a real attention to detail to make sure that the crafting of a young quarterback, one of the hardest positions to get right, to choose right, to develop right, and to play at a high level, we gonna give him all resources possible. And I would double down on that. I think having Shedeur in there with Dylan Gabriel is disrespectful to Dylan Gabriel. Now, I don't think Dylan Gabriel would have been like some world beater. I don't believe all that. I gotta be honest with you. I think he would have been mid, maybe a little less mid, right? But I have to question if that's your guy, why put Shedeur behind him? Why put him on the heels? Why create so much conversation about that? And then if that's your guy, you're telling me you're going to go back the next year. Golly, asset management, guys. We're going to go back after signing quarterbacks in the offseason. Multiple quarterbacks in the offseason, drafting multiple quarterbacks just to draft another quarterback? Jesus. Like, hey, man, I'm so happy that Texas fired Bill O'Brien. I got to be honest with you, man. Y'all are in asset hell right now. Forget the football play. Y'all don't even got drafts to look forward to. We're going to draft another quarterback? Damn, give me Arvell Reese. Give me Carnell Tate. Let's stock up and get Jeremiah Smith for the love of God. Let Jeremiah Smith play quarterback. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But let's hear what's it called? Mary Kay had to say. She's apparently going to talk about Deshaun Watson coming back this year.
To continue to throw the ball downfield and to feel confident enough at times to let it rip, to make sure he's seeing what's there and taking what is there. And that's not going to be easy. That's all easier said than done. But I think it will be easier with
Watson's career. Tommy is kind of Kevin's handpicked guy. I think they both kind of see things the same. They both kind of look at things the same. He's obviously a young, they're hoping a young up and coming guy. But I do think it's fair if people are looking at this and saying, you have this offensive head coach who's given up play calling 2 years in a row. You're going into an off season where you're going to have to make some quarterback decisions and maybe draft your quarterback of the future. You want to make sure that you have all the right pieces in place, which includes, your offensive head coach, how he wants to approach play calling, how he wants to develop that quarterback. This is a very important offseason in those regards. So I think it's fair to say, okay, this is 2 years in a row that he's had to do this. But I do think, we can also acknowledge this feels different than maybe last year when him and Ken Dorsey just never felt like a great mix.
No, they were philosophically misaligned, I would say. So I think that Kevin and Tommy are more on the same page. But I did ask Kevin today, do you think he's going to have the confidence to put his own stamp on this offense? And Kevin said, without a doubt. So he'll give him the leeway that he needs to run his own game. And we'll have to see how that goes and what the changes look like. But I do think that if, let's say, Kevin, they go out and they draft, I don't know, Lenoris Sellers. I'm just throwing that out there. Let's say they draft their quarterback of the future next year. I do think that Kevin should probably take back play calling next year, depending on what happens the rest of this year and what happens.
I mean, we're not watching any more of this Mary Kay because I tell y'all every single time. And this is the reason why we watch Mary Kay videos, because she is getting information from the Browns. Like, let's not get that mistaken. She is one of those insiders. Did I not just talk about, hey, what are y'all going to do when the next season comes around? Y'all going to give Kevin Stefanski play calling duties back again? Dog, if that's what happens, I'm not talking about the Browns anymore. I'm sorry. I love Shedeur. I love making content about Shedeur. I'll make Shedeur content, either when he's traded or if he does like off the field stuff. We just gonna cover his Twitch streams because I can't fathom a team doing the same shit for, I would like to say 3 years, but again, go back to Deshaun Kaiser. Look it up. Go watch the KTO video. He does a great job. Go look up the tenure with what's it called? The Hugh Jackson. Right? Look at how awful that tenure was. And now you're telling me Mary Kay is already not only is it a foregone conclusion to her, and yeah, this confirms that Kevin Stefanski is safe, by the way, and I don't think that's right. But it's not only just a foregone conclusion to her that Kevin Stefanski isn't just coming back. Oh, but maybe we should just give him the play calling back, depending on how things. We haven't even what? This is statistically one of the worst offenses in the league with his guy in there, and for the second year straight, he gave up play calling, and now this is different, and it's so different to the fact that we're gonna do the same shit we did last time. Are you hearing yourself, Mary Kay? So when I watch this stuff, I would love to just be a mad, crazy Shedeur fan that just wants Shedeur. I feel bad for Dylan Gabriel. Oh my Lord, Carson Schweringer, Harold Fannin, Quinshon Judkins. There are real Myles Garrett. There are real football players on this team that you're gonna have to tell them, hey, remember that shit we did last year? Hey, we're going to do it the exact same thing. We're going to fire it. We're going to throw somebody else under the bus. New quarterback that we're going to waste a draft pick on, even though we haven't developed the other two quarterbacks. One probably has his confidence completely shot because he's throwing interceptions in the end zone and whatever. Another player who just hasn't gotten any reps in a full year, and we keep shelving him. We're going to bring another quarterback in. And matter of fact, you know that dude who every single year he calls plays? It's terrible. Bring him in to call play. What? What am I even listening to? Yo, I'm done with this. I'm done. I'm sure we'll talk about this again at another later point when Kevin Stefanski's out. If Tommy Rees's offense looks good, we're going to these narratives they spinning is going to be real nasty. I know we were supposed to talk about Deshaun Watson. I don't want to hear that. We'll do a separate Deshaun Watson video, especially with more things coming out. I do owe somebody in my audience, some certain people in my audience, a Deshaun Watson video, so we will talk about it. But this is disgusting. This is real nasty. Y'all let me know how you feel down below in the comment section. Oh my God, are y'all serious? All right, we're gonna do one more video about rookies and then wrap it up. But I genuinely give me a poll. Somebody start a poll. How about this? Is Kevin Stefanski or his job safe? I want to know, because I think it's super interesting that I think a lot of people are coming to the conclusion that a lot of this doesn't look good for Kevin Stefanski. The fact that we can come to that conclusion, but not also come to the conclusion of maybe Kevin Stefanski's really bad. That's what's got me kind of worried. You feel me? Like, I don't know how we reach both of those things. And have that. So y'all answer that. I'm gonna read some of y'all's comment. And it's not something I need y'all to comment down below. Is there a rookie that you want me to cover in my rookie review? So those two things. Comment that. Let's hear it. Owner said he's not firing him or Barry. Yeah, but it's like, but that is the problem. That's the problem that they're not. Blaming on Reddit said the disrespect is crazy, man. Just let 12 get an opportunity like Dylan. That's all it did. 80s Brazil says, you feel bad for DG. Yeah, right. No one rooting for DG feels bad for Shedeur. Absolutely not. I just feel bad that he's in that offense. He's in a terrible offense, man. He's in a bad spot right now. We're gonna look at some rookies. Comment some rookies you want me to cover if you want. I knew he wasn't getting fired. Amber says, I'm not watching this calamity either. 80s Brazil says they should package Shedeur in April for another draft pick. I can't believe his team didn't get him traded. That's why I think they know what's going on. Shedeur will be smiling all over their city. Danny says, it amazes me how much they just dismiss Shedeur without giving him a fair evaluation. It constantly get our quarterback of the future next year. Shedrick Burgess says Jimmy Horn Jr. Oh, you know we're gonna talk about Jay Fleazy, but just to be safe, I'm happy you pointed that out because I'll make a specific Jay Fleazy. So let's go. Let's just go Jimmy Horn Jr. Getting a little hot in here, dog. Heating up in here, dog. It's a family affair up in there. Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh my God. I can't play too much of this. Oh, my goodness. I can't play too much of this. Can't play too much of this. Can't play too much of this. Boom. How about... Oh, I got something better for you. Jimmy Horn. Grade. Oh. I gotta turn the fan on real quick. Oh no. There we go. It's gonna be kind of a super fan for a second. All right, woo! All right, let's check it out. Check it out. Jimmy Horn Jr. Not bad. Okay, cool. Okay, so Jimmy Horn Jr. Anybody else y'all want me to cover? Obviously, Travis is hurt, so probably not gonna go too deep on Travis. We are gonna spend a lot of time talking about the Browns rookie class, though. I think it's a great rookie. Sorry, my mouse is broken. It don't. There we go. Jeez.
Rico Dowdle had a great.
Please stop, TikTok. Why is my TikTok open? My everything is just. This is terrible. This is awful. Okay, cool. Jimmy Horn Jr. We got his PFF grade. Who else? Let's check in on Cam. Okay, yes, Cam. Now, from what I understand, he's been a healthy scratch sometimes. He hasn't had as much. Cam Russell had a 44 points during the 25. Okay, preseason. I think he's still practice squad. Yeah, I don't think Cam has gotten any reps. So we'll do a separate. How about that for the guys? Because there are some Colorado players that are still on practice squads, and they're doing their little thug dizzle. So we'll do something separate for them too. Cam Stack versus QJ as a rookie. Cam Stack. What are you talking about? Oh, Cam Scat. Okay, Cam Scataboo. That might be something we can talk about. Okay, cool. I think Cam is I think Cam is practice squad. No big deal there. What's it called? Who else am I missing? Let's get the rookie quarterbacks too. Let's go Cam Ward. BF grade. Yeah. I don't think it was ever next man up for them. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a certain level of like respect. You know, everybody loves Joe Flacco. There's a certain level of respect that he had that for Joe Flacco that I think made him think that he could do that. You feel me? Let's go, Dylan Gabriel. Not great. Not great, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my dog, you got my feet up. Okay. Cool. So I got Carson Schwerner in here. I got Harold Fannin in here. Give me Quinshon Judkins, please. Oh my goodness. I wish this my mouse. I'll have my mouse fixed. This thing is annoying. They said Quinshon Judkins going for a quick little 30. Good to see him back from injury too. Let's see if we got any questions. Oh yeah, and by the way, I've been on the Quinshon train for a long time, man. Y'all don't get it twisted. Dylan Sampson, nah. Quinshon Judkins are going crazy. Just trying to get some stats. And facts here. Some stats and fact. Okay, let's go Quinshon Judkins grade. Yeah, let's do it. Quinshon Judkins. And then what I want to do is I want to get Isaiah Bond. Oh no. y'all. Oh, wait. Oh, Quinshon Judkins. Yeah, we got Quinshon Judkins. Yeah. Someone say he respects Flacco because he's older than him. That is just true. That's just true. He is in fact older than him. That's crazy. Let's go grades. There we go. Grades. He's the one for like the crown jewel of the what's it called? Of this rookie class. I mean, you talk about just the contributions that he's been able to put together. And this is, missing a nice chunk of the preseason too. It's I think it's pretty remarkable. Shout out to Dylan Sampson too. Oh my God. Like, I love Dylan Sampson. And I was hoping that he would be able to get more touches, but I mean, Quinshon has just soaked them up. He's just soaked up all the touches. If you feel like I threw a simple swing pass behind Dylan Sampson is killing me. That's pretty funny. What's it called? Dylan Sampson. Here we go. Yeah. Love to see that, man. We got Quinshon. We got all those people. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay, so we'll go over a few things. Last thing I want to see is some rookie ratings. I want to see where the NFL rookies rate currently. All right, sorry about that. I think the thing went out just for a second. Isaac Araku. Actually, I'm gonna put this right here. I'm gonna put this down here. Put this down right here. Okay. Mitchell Evans. Mitchell Evans. Who the fuck is that? Who is Mitchell Evans? Where is he from? How have I never heard of this dude? Mitchell Evans. Interesting. Mitchell Evans. I'm surprised. I know all these dudes. Will Campbell doing his thing. Okay, there can't be this many tight ends above Harold Fannin on the ranking, right? Are you serious? There's like 3 other tight ends before we get to Harold Fannin. Harold Fannin and Warren, they were leading in receptions in like the first, like they broke or tied a rookie record in the first 8 weeks for like receptions as a rookie tight end. So I'm very surprised. Another tight end is here before both of them. That's crazy. Loaded. And Will Johnson. And then Will Johnson only comes in. Well, I mean, he had some injuries, so I guess. But Will Johnson only comes in at like 10. Oh, there's more. It was just like a top. Oh, the top 15. Okay, I can't count. Interesting. There's Quinshawn. I'm surprised I don't see more Browns here. We got Mason Graham, Quinshawn Judkins, Dylan Sampson, Carson Schweringer. There's a big bad dog right there. Amon Membu, Colston Loveland. So many tight ends. How many tight ends? This is a big tight end draft. I didn't even realize. Because Colston Loveland is crazy. Obviously, Warren goes crazy. I think Harold Fannin is that dude. I think he's going to be the Swiss Army knife. I think he's going to have an Isaiah Likely style of impact when it comes to, what he's got cooking up. And then let's make sure we have LeJounte. Let's go LeJounte. Return PFF grade. I want his return grade. He has an 80 punt return grade. That could be major. Enjoyed you and G Bush. I appreciate you being here. Trizzy says T-Mac. Oh, we gonna talk about T-Mac. Don't worry. We gonna ain't got a choice but to talk about T-Mac. That boy go crazy. Receiving. Why can't I see his what's it called? Return rating. I want to see his return. Return grades. You can see the Chine for the Guinea. Oh, C. Anderson, thank you so much for the $10. Enjoyed you, Young King. Stay gold. Of course. I have to say, I can't say it enough. I appreciate Garrett Bush for giving me that opportunity. Like I said, like he just represents such a unique person in the content space. Somebody who's able to not only stand on what he believes, but he's been in the game for a while, right? And there's a certain level of, not notoriety, but there's a certain level of trust that comes with, being there for as long as he's been doing it and growing that respect on a multi, what's it called? I would say multiple or medium, right? Because he's got the shows, he has his own personal show, like he's doing it in a lot of different areas and aspects. So he's doing it for a long time and doing it at a high level at different ways. It's something that you can just commend. And for me, being younger and looking up to somebody like that, I can see the pathway. I can see some of those things, some of the right decisions, or maybe even wrong decisions, and it's just been absolutely phenomenal. So I cannot stress that enough. But here we go. We're going to do this final video of the night. We're going to talk about some rooks. see what they've got cooking up here. That like a 7th round pick, I would have traded for Weaver if I was the Browns. He catches everything. Oh yeah, for sure. We are officially 9 weeks into the season, although some teams haven't played 9 games. I get it. But it's a good little midpoint of the season. I think it's a good time to start talking about some rookies, some expectations. Did you qualify? Did you not qualify? Now to get it, the cat out the bag, I will not be talking about Travis Hunter. Sadly, he has been placed on IR because of a knee injury. But you know the hopes were great. He just came off his best game, 100 yards receiving, his first touchdown. But just a quick synopsis. I think the way to to summarize how Travis Hunter's rookie season had been going so far is just underutilization and just the beginning, right? I think they were just starting to different ways of getting him going. So I'm very happy to see when he comes back. It has been reported that he will not be gone for long. He will be most likely back after the 4 games that he has to serve for IR, and then we'll be back to business. So let's talk about it, because in all of this, I have to make a hot take. I think no matter what, as much as I get on here and call the Browns silly, stupid, and everything else but children of God, I've told y'all since Shedeur got traded that without Shedeur Sanders in this draft, this is one of the best draft classes of the entire NFL. So we're going to compare that. We're going to look at some PFF grades, right, of the top rookies. We're going to go over a few rookies, not every rookie, obviously, but some of them that stand out, some that I've been following. And I think the most interesting thing and probably the most fun thing about Shedeur being on the Browns, obviously we don't like the way he's been treated, but I do like the fact that I get to watch some of my favorite college football players. Like I've told y'all this, Harold Fannin Jr., not Carson Schweringer. He's a dog, but I just wasn't watching him like that. But Harold Fannin Jr., Quinshon Judkins, Dylan Sampson, hell, Dylan Gabriel. I watched Dylan Gabriel get busy. Mason Graham was one of the top defensive tackles coming in the year. So this is a very unique rookie class, and a rookie class that, if handled correctly, can put the Browns in contention to really build on some next level. So let's take a peek at a few things here. So Gridiron Grading says the top/bottom 4 PFF graded rookie defenders in their college production score on our final 2025 grade. So these, obviously, Carson Schweringer, Donovan Eziraku out of Boston College, Nick Eamon-Worry out of SC, and then Jihad Campbell. Jihad Campbell's out of not Georgia, but he's out of Alabama, right? He's the linebacker for the Eagles, if I'm not mistaken. So again, you see right off the back, Carson Schweringer is already bouncing off the tip. And I'm sorry, this is just a great moment.
Feeling anything?
This is a great moment.
Here we go. You do, yeah. Maybe in the back we could.
This was back, this was back in May too. You know what I'm saying? The people were, you know what I'm saying, the rookie class had some jokes, but I tell you what, the rookie class gets busy. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about Quinshon Judkins. Has been nothing but the entire engine of this offense. Now, sadly, he did leave the Patriots game a little early. Now, some people are saying that's the reason why Dylan Gabriel started to kind of push the ball in ways that he's not really able to push the ball in, and maybe resulted in a few more turnovers than you'd like. But hey, it's good to see him back out and practicing. He ranks currently right now when it comes to rushing yards, 17th out of all 46 running backs, 5 rushing touchdowns, which is 7th amongst all 46 running backs. This is all running backs. This is not just rookie running backs. 26 out of 46 yards per carry at 4.1, not too bad. And the carries 118, which is 15th out of all running backs. He ranks 17th in run snaps, 15th in carries, 17th in rushing yards, 7th in rushing touchdowns, 1st in fumbles. Quinshon Judkins has not put the ball on the field. And just as I'm talking about Ohio State legend Deontay Lewis jumps in my chat. What's going on, brother? And of course, explosive 10+ yards runs. I mean, everything that you see is just great. I mean, and then on the passing side, he's got no drops. He's got good receiving yards. He's been a decent safety blanket whenever Dylan Sampson isn't on the field, because he's more of that, traditional receiving running back. Quinshon Judkins has been more than serviceable when it comes to getting things done. So top 24 running backs. This is all running backs, by the way. These are the top running backs. I don't know. Let me see how many other rookies are here. You got Quinshon Judkins here at 14. He might be the only one. And this goes for you. Oh well, Travion Henderson's right here. So what's it called? These are rest of season rankings for PFF. So fantasy rankings. This is kind of a projection of points that they see. So even the fantasy people are loving Quinshon Judkins. You know who also the fantasy people love is Mr. Harold Fannin Jr. And I got to tell you, right now, as of October 30th, this is one more game removed, but Harold Fannin amongst tight ends was 7th in receiving yards at 352, 4th in contested catches at 6, and 1st in missed tackles at 13. Continues to play bigger than his 6'3" frame, and that's saying something. I really do think he looks like a 6'2" tight end out there that's 6'3", but plays like he's 6'4". Like he will lower his shoulder when he gets the opportunity. He does nothing's an easy yard for him, and he wants to grind it out every time he gets a chance to do it. And then again, when you talk about just the fantasy numbers, right? Harold Fannin, 42% roster, tight end 12 in points a game, and top 4 finishes, 19% target share since Dylan Gabriel took over, 7th in air yard share amongst tight ends. Harold Fannin is tight end 8 in expected points per game. He is Kraft's replacement, right? So that is from the fantasy nerves giving Harold Fannin a big bump up. But what about other people in the Browns media? The Dogs Cleveland podcast. Again, I've made so many Harold Fannin videos. I'm gonna just shut up and let them say more positive things about Harold Fannin. How about
our offense wouldn't have a whole lot to speak of at all outside of when the run game is working with Judkins and when he's making a guy miss. There would be hardly any first downs or anything to speak of if it weren't for Harold Fannin Jr.
Yes.
I feel like
I forgot about him.
I was talking to my dad about this the other day. I said, if it's 3rd and 8, all you have to do is throw a 3-yard pass to Harold Fannin, and he will get you 5 freaking yards plus some, because that dude does not ever go down before the sticks.
He surprises me. He has surprised me this year how his ability to break tackles. Even Judkins. I didn't think Judkins was. I think his yards after hit contact is pretty. I think it's top 5 right now. I could be wrong. Last time I looked at it was top 5. Listen, the offense has been so bad, I totally forgot we had Fannin. That's how bad the offense was. I'm actually encouraged with Fannin, too. Fannin's breaking tackle ability is crazy. And Chad pointed us on our podcast of how he runs like a duck. And it kind of throws people off a little bit, too.
I call him, and y'all get tired of my basketball compilations. I think Harold Fannin is the Luka Doncic of football, right? He plays at his own pace. He does his own thing, right? He really is a different league, different caliber of player. Deontay, you did miss the collab, but from what Garrett has told me, what G Bush has told me, he will be putting out some clips, so be on the lookout for that. It was great. It was really low key. We just kind of talked about what I do, what he does, and very very baseline convo. He wasn't really missing a bunch, but I think it was dope to talk to his audience, right? Right. So. And he's so unique in the way that he does things that, like you said, like sometimes people are just like, whoa, like what is going on? You can see that, I think, mostly in college too, the way he runs route. He kind of lulls people to sleep with his routes, right? Well, he'll kind of like running slow, and then he'll just break hard out of a route, and the linebacker's like, whoa. I didn't know you had that in you. Like, I didn't know how you had that burst. I didn't know you had that twitch. And so I think that is something that unlocks him. I will not stop beating the drum for Harold Fannin. I think he's just a fun football player to watch. Now, also, someone who's gotten nothing but praise and nothing but great ratings is Carson Schweringer. I mean, he's playing like an all-pro linebacker. And let's hear a quick little Baldy breakdown on what makes him so
Can't
great.
help but notice the rookies on Cleveland's defense. First-round pick Mason Graham. Second-round pick Carson Schweringer. Free agent Aiden Huntington. And you watch this play with Derrick Henry coming right at him right here. And you watch how they play it. They play it perfectly. Huntington gets the outside, squeezes it. Schweringer goes low. Good physical play at the point of attack.
I'm sure he's going to break this down. The thing in this is like the number one thing with linebackers, right? And I used to play linebacker in high school, not super successfully. I don't want y'all to think I'm trying to toot my own horn, but from one of the basics that you learn is linebackers a lot about instinct and playing like your hair's on fire. I know people say that. They just kind of say that, like, what does that mean? That means look at Harold Fannin's track, right? Look at where he's going. As soon as you see backers are flowing, Derrick Henry is flowing, he's gone. He doesn't hesitate. He don't think about it. As soon as he sees, look where his body is. His shoulders are square to the C gap. He can already see by the path and trajectory right now. The ball hasn't been stuck out. I don't even think Derrick Henry's opening the breadbasket. He can see linebacker. He's feeling the flow. He feels the way Derrick Henry's there. And look at him just step for step, mirror on the wall. My name is Carson Schweringer. I'm here meeting his head. I want to be there, boy. I want to meet him in that hole. So much, in fact, you see that Derrick Henry, he sees him in the hole and says, I might have to cut this back. Nope, you're cutting it back to nothing. And a great job on the defensive end. And, of course, he just sticks his head in there because he's not afraid.
Physical play at the point of attack. 2 yards for the king. Then you watch Mason Graham right here, working on the all-pro center, right? You watch how he physically gets there, defeats the block, and then tackles Derrick Henry for a solo tackle. Like, they're young, but they're playing the game the right way. And for long stretches of this game, they played really well in the trenches.
Look, the Browns are going to be set up for success for a long time. I do think this is it's going to go down as one of the most impactful classes for the Browns, right? You got a nice solid piece to help out Myles Garrett on the interior, right? Getting some interior pressure as well as helping in the run game in Mason Graham. He's a leverage guy. Like, Texas Longhorns played Michigan. So, I've seen a little film on him, and I've obviously seen, just the film and, draft process or whatever. And, Michigan makes defensive linemen for a reason. And on the interior, I think they have a knack for making defensive tackles. And he is, one of those dudes that's going to go to war in a phone booth for you. And he's going to continue to do that. Carson Schweringer is a psychopath. He's playing like he played anywhere else but UCLA. I never know UCLA to have great linebacker play except maybe Eric Kendricks. That's like the only linebacker from UCLA I can think of. But hey, they doing what they do. And then that's not counting Shedeur and not counting Dylan Gabriel. Let's just take them out of the mix. Then you got Quinshon Judkins, who, like I said, SEC freshman records, national champion, 1,000-yard rusher every single year he played football. Dylan Sampson, SEC guy who basically, I'm sorry, 10 fans, but he was the entire Tennessee offense that led y'all to the college football playoff. They've got a lot of value in a lot of different ways, so I'm hoping they do what they need to do. So what does that mean for the rest of the rookies? I've sat here and I've told you how great one rookie is. Well, let's see what PFF has to say about the rest of the rookies. So first things first, number one, highest graded rookie is Jahad Campbell. Correct me if I'm wrong. Again, out of Alabama, I believe. He's looked at as a Swiss Army knife in a different way, right? Because I think when you talk about someone like Jalen Walker who can play off the ball and play on the edge, Jahad Campbell is someone who can rush the passer, but he plays as a true linebacker, and he's really showing it at a high level. And look at that, Mr. Cam Skattebo now, speedy recovery to Cam Skattebo. I think everybody who watches football loves them some Cam Skattebo. Obviously out for the season. He was the second highest rated rookie by PFF. Number 3, Donovan Ezeraku of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, this has been a real growth right now. Apparently, from the grade standpoint, number 3, but I think from the production standpoint, I think some Dallas Cowboys fans would say maybe he left a little bit to desire. But from the grade standpoint, this is how it breaks down. The second-round pick from Boston College is up to number 3 this week after a stellar 83.8 PFF overall grade on Monday Night Football, 6th amongst all edge defenders. Ezeraku was all over the field for the Cowboys. He blew by the Cardinals' Kevin Beachum for a sack late in the first quarter, and later came across the line of scrimmage for a run stop in the second quarter, holding Emare DeMarcado to a 1-yard gain. Ezeraku, these are some names, boy. Ezeraku finished the game with 5 pressures across 26 snaps for a 19.2 pressure rate. He also finished in the top 10 at the position in pass rush win rate at 23.1%. Ezeraku got off to a slow start as a pass rusher, recording 4.5 pass rush productivity rating through the first 5 weeks of the season. Since then, he's gone over 10 in 4 straight games and ranks 3rd with 23.6 win rate. He also owns an 86.4 PFF passer rating grade. In that span, 8th best, placing just behind departed Cowboys Micah Parsons, 86.5. Overall, Ezeraku continues to lead the rookie edge defender class in PFF pass rush grade. He also ranks 1st in the groups in pass rush win rate and quarterback hits while slotting second in total pressures. His 9 run defense stops are the most amongst rookie edge defenders too. Number 4, tight end Mitchell Evans out of Carolina Panthers. And y'all know I'm big on Jimmy Horn. And since we're going to talk about them, shout out Jimmy Horn Jr., shout out LeJounte Wizard. LeJounte is still the starting punt returner. Jimmy Horn Jr. keeps getting more touches and keeps finding new ways to get integrated into a red-hot Carolina offense. So I just had to shout them out. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how I feel about them. But number 4, Mitchell Evans is somebody I thought it was interesting that he was the highest-rated tight end with names like Harold Fandon, with names like Warren, with names like Colston Loveland. But here it is. Evans struggled in the Panthers' tight win over the Packers, finishing with a 41.8 PFF grade overall grade, 3rd worst among tight ends this week. He was not targeted in the game and played only 1 snap in pass protection. He did log 15 run blocking snaps, although he earned a 68 PFF run blocking in zone. His 39 mark in gap schemes dragged him down to a 46 PFF run blocking. Despite seeing 0 targets over the past 2 games, Evans still leads Carolina tight end group with a 74.3 rather PFF receiving grade. He has caught all 9 of his targets for 90 yards, 6 first downs, 2 touchdowns. Evans also leads Panthers tight end group in PFF run blocking grade. He also scored 20% positive play rate across 175 snaps. Now, number 5, Shedeur McMillan. Now, we're going to end it right here as the top 5, and I'm going to show you where, real quick, where tackle Will Campbell, tight end Jackson Halls, number 8, Nick Emanwari, who for the Seattle Seahawks, who was out of South Carolina. He was a combine warrior. Tight end Oronde Gadsden II. Will Johnson, cornerback out of Arizona Cardinals. Quinshon Judkins. Denzel Burke from the Arizona Cardinals. How many rookies do the Cardinals have? Tackle Ahmad Membu. And then, of course, linebacker Carson Schweringer. Shout out to Colston Loveland. We're going to end it here talking about the top 5. And I implore you to go read the top 15 list that they have for the rookies. Number 5, Shedeur McMillan. I think this is a great to point out because I remember when all the rumblings of, oh, Shedeur McMillan doesn't watch film or this and that, and it really goes to point out, you know, the overall, like what's overall happening, right? What's overall the way that people are going to try to paint certain people, certain players, right, off a certain thing. This dude is Mike Evans but smoother. I'm sorry, I don't know if y'all was watching the film, but this boy was nice, real nice. T-Mac gets after, right? So the fact that there was even that controversy is crazy. Here we are as the number 5 highest rated rookie at 78.6. McMillan had a better day against the Packers, recording 4 catches for 46 yards. Most of that production came in the 4th quarter via 2 16-yard catches, one of which he snatched from Carrington Valentine's hand, who was in perfect position to break up the pass. McMillan accounted for 3 first downs on the day, although Green Bay was able to limit his impact after the catch, holding him to only 0.8 yards after the catch per reception. McMillan now has 41 catches for 558 yards, a top 15 mark. He is also tied for second with 19 explosive gains for 15-plus yards. 3 of McMillan's catches against the Packers came between the numbers, bringing him to 22 for 318 yards and 19 touchdowns. Tied for the second most this season. He owns a 26.1 threat rate and a 76.6 PFF receiving grade between the numbers. He also ranks in top 10 in explosive gains and yards after the catch per reception within that area of the field. All I'm saying, Browns, is maybe if you have a short quarterback, get him a tall son of a bitch to throw it to. Maybe some good things will happen. That's what we have right now. Who is your top-rated rookies? I really think most of them belong to the Browns, even though it's a lot of doom and gloom. I think they did a pretty good job picking a few elite rookies. Y'all let me know how you feel down below in the comments. Who is your favorite rookie? Is it Walter Nolan, who just had a little breakout game? Is it Will Johnson coming off of his injury, looking very solid? Who is your top-tier rookie, your impact rookie? Comment it down below. Like the video if you like it, dislike it if you don't. Subscribe if you like football content of all shapes, sizes, forms, factors, and fashions. If there's any type of content you want to see, comment that down below too. And I just really hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Peace. All right. Deontay was going crazy. What was he saying? This is a black man with an active black father and a mother who isn't out here disparaging their father. You know, Deontay, that's something that me and G Bush got into, and that was we're gonna close out the stream. But I started the stream. People that we was gonna take Jalon Walker, so did I, but we picked T-Mac. Yeah, T-Mac's not bad. I didn't think Jalon Walker. He's doing his thing too. This is what I'm gonna say about the G Bush thing. Again, I have to say I thank him so much for the opportunity. the reason why I thank him is because we both came to a lot of the same conclusions, and one of the biggest one that we settled on, and I really didn't think we were going to talk about this. I really didn't think that we had this particular similarity. And again, I'll watch his content. We watch some of his content sometimes too on the channel. But again, I keep it football for that reason. But if I could leak a little bit of what we talked about, you know, he was talking about his life and different things. I'm not going to spoil that, but it was great hearing from him and, a little bit from me. And we both, in our own ways, came to this understanding that one of the reasons we like Shedeur is, or so wanting to continue to be for Shedeur is like, yo, this is a young man that should be a model for young black kids, young black people around his age, the 22-year-old. He's got, again, hey, mom and dad, they weren't together the whole time. Maybe they had a messy divorce. But I tell you one thing, I don't hear, like I said, I don't hear the mom say nothing bad about Deion. Now, maybe back in the day, that's different. But as the kids do what they do, I don't see the mom say nothing bad about Deion. I don't see Deion say nothing about the mom. He get out of Dodge. He try to be out the room. You know what I'm saying? He's respecting what his sons have with their mother. He's respecting, and vice versa, with their parent or what their kids have to do with their father, right? And that in itself is such a beautiful thing. Like, I can't stress how much, and we were talking about it, and it was like, from the different backgrounds that we have, just the grace and the appreciation of, hey, Shedeur's not a bad kid, right? Shedeur's not in trouble all the time. Shedeur's got an active father who loves him and continues to breathe confidence and light into him. That's not bad. You know what I'm saying? That's not bad at all. So I want to point that out there for everyone who might say, hey, it's a problem, I support Shedeur. Hey, I support Arch Manning. I support Bryce Young. I support all types of players. But apparently when I support Shedeur, there's a problem for me doing it. But it is what it is. Shout out to G Bush again. Shout out to all y'all people who watched. I cannot thank y'all enough for supporting. A lot more content coming, of course. Deontay says, yeah, but it breaks that image they try to portray of us. Hey, I can't say too much. I can't say, hey, it's a football channel, man. I ain't gonna get into it. Maybe I need to make another channel one day when we get deeper into some of the, socioeconomic and socioeconomic and just community ways things look and the way that certain things are affected throughout the world and culture. But maybe another time, maybe another channel. You feel me? What's it called? Oh, Arch Manning did get pulled over. His Warby Parkers were messing up on him. But anyway, I appreciate y'all so much. Doggy Bone, hey, I saw you in the G Bush live too. I appreciate you supporting. I appreciate all y'all supporting. Thank you for the 5. Thank you for the 10. All the donations are phenomenal. All the people supporting are phenomenal. All my new subscribers, all the new people who followed. Thank y'all so much. I would love to hopefully do another G Bush collab. More streams from me coming as well. Probably going to try to pop off one on Thursday. Depending on how busy I am or what's going on. But plenty of videos coming. Free agent video coming. Y'all be absolutely great. Deontay says, remember, bro, they said we wasn't smart enough to play the position. Now more than half of the starting quarterbacks. Never mind. This is a football channel. And I'm going to say this. I grew up in those days. Like, I'm not the oldest. But it went from they're not smart enough to play the position. Then it was like, oh, hey, Lamar Jackson, maybe you should play wide receiver. And now Lamar Jackson has the #1 passing rating in all quarterbacks. They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about that. Let's leave it alone. I'm gonna put it over there. I'm gonna leave it over there. Deontay, keep doing what you do. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody here, man. You tried to do 1 3-hour break it up, tighten up. You tried to do 1 3-hour break it up, tighten up. I don't know what you mean. But maybe, hey, you say I need to stream longer. I'll stream longer. I will. I wanted to catch the G Bush live, but I'm not a member. All good. From what I understand, if you want to see some of that content, he will be releasing it as clips. And if it's a big deal, I can just talk to y'all about what we talked about. It was nothing major. I think it was good that he put it. What's it called? Members only because we were just kind of getting to know each other. We were basic stuff, basic these things. So I think as hopefully we do more collaborations, more things will come. So I appreciate y'all. We'll see you next time.